back to the BeDoKnit podcast. My name is Amy Olson, and this is my podcast where I talk about what I'm making, some works in progress, finished objects, and a couple of acquisitions here and there. And I'm very excited to share with you today that I finished Gina's Anders tea and gifted it to her today. So I met up with Gina in Minneapolis. I live in St. Paul. She's in Minneapolis. Our two cities are called the Twin Cities. And so I drove over to Minneapolis, gave her her Anders tea, and we walked to BeDoKnit, which is a lake nearby where she lives. And we had lunch at the Pavilion. And there is a Jamaican restaurant on the lake. And so we had lunch, and then we found a little place where we could do a short little video for you and talk about her Anders tea. So that is coming up. A couple of things before we get there is that I had my birthday in the last 2 weeks. So it has been, I think now it's been 3 weeks since I last podcasted. And that is because I had a birthday and there were just a lot of activities going on, and I didn't make quite as much progress on my knits as I wanted, and I wanted to finish that Anders tea before I did another podcast. So I finished that, and you will see that coming up, but I also made a bit more progress on my no frills. So I think the last time that I podcasted, I had, oh gosh, I should have kept track. I should have put a marker where you know what? It's possible that this marker is where I left off. And so I feel like maybe I've done another 2-3 inches. But in the meantime, I also finished the Anders tea. So I am about here. It's like hitting my belly button. So I think I have a few more inches left, or maybe 1 inch left. I'm going to have to measure this before I start the ribbed hem. So that's coming up, and that's very exciting. It's going to be too warm for me to wear this because we're heading into late spring, or spring and summer, but hopefully I'll get it done here in the next few weeks, and then I can start wearing it in the fall right away. So this color, I just love it. So this is the No Frills pattern by Petite Knit, and the yarn is Cardiff Cashmere. It's the same color, which is called, it's 517 Hermé, and it's the same color that Petite Knit used for her poppy tea. So if you've seen the poppy tea, this is the same exact yarn that she uses in that pattern, and I just love it. So there it is. It looks like a tee right now. It'd be kind of cute. But that's what this is, and that's my progress so far. It's just a simple raglan sweater. And for those of you that have been around a while, you know I was playing around with this color, and then also sort of this speckled yarn held with mohair from a homespun house. And who knows, maybe I'll get, I think it was the speckled yarn called Unicorn Dust, and then her antique mohair held together. And this is just one strand of DK that I'm working with here. I might do that, but I think I'm not somebody who typically makes the same pattern over and over and over again. I just feel like the same way with books. There's so many books to read, I can't reread a book. I just feel like life is short. There's only so many books I can read in my lifetime, and I gotta read a new one. So that is how I feel about that. So I probably won't make another no frills. Now, I might make another ranunculus. I have a green ranunculus that's held with mohair, and it's really hot, and I would love to have one that's more appropriate for the summer, maybe made in linen or cotton or some kind of plant fiber so that I can wear it in the summer. That could be something that I do. And then I was watching a homespun house, and Molly she's always making socks. And I purchased some yarn from her a while ago. And I'm actually considering putting this yarn in my Penguono. And, but I'm also really inspired to make socks. So look at these. Oh, it's getting a little blown out, but look at these speckled yarns. This one right here, this one brings me life. It's called Pajama Party, I believe. Homespun House is a studio in Germany, and Molly, who owns the shop, and dyes the yarn and is the maker behind a homespun house. She is from Madison, Wisconsin, but she moved to Germany and met her husband, and they've lived there for a long time. So this colorway is called Pajama Party, and I love it. This is their indie colorway. And you can see all those cool speckled goodies in there. And then this one is Dancing in the Street. She has such great names for her yarn. So this is Dancing in the Street. And I think all of these would make a great sock. Colorwork sock pattern. And maybe even with this on the cuff. This bright yellow. So I've probably been inspired by Summer Lee and a homespun house and all of their sock making. I want to say that I'm going to, use one of their patterns and make a sock from one of their patterns, but because I'm a pattern designer, I just want to design a pattern myself. That's how it goes. You want to make other people's patterns, and then you're like, I just want to do something. I want to come up with it myself, or I want to do my own thing. So that's kind of what happens. And we'll see. I might use one of their patterns, or I might just design a sock myself. We'll see. That brings me to the fact that Molly has these little. She uses Hiya sharps, and they are double pointed metal needles. And I really like using them too. She kind of turned me on to them, and I really like how your stitches just slide, quickly, and because they're sharp. I don't know. There's something about the sharp, like they're just very precise, I guess. They can be a little sharp. If you tend to tap the end of your needle, you probably won't like them. You gotta kind of move the stitches with your hands, because if you tap that end of that needle, it's gonna hurt your finger. They are very sharp. But yeah, they're just slippery. You move the stitches with ease, and because it's sharp, you can get, just get in the stitches really easy, and yeah, they're just slick. So I like those a lot. Whenever she has a sock pattern going, she holds the Hiya sharps. If she's gonna travel or something, she puts the needles in this little case like this, and then the sock kind of comes out of the case, like it hangs down out of it. So I went on Etsy, I believe, and bought these little needle cases. So this one has sheeps on it, as you can see. I think I had it upside down there, sorry. So yeah, the sock would hang. I was gonna try to start a sock so I could show you, but didn't get around to it. So I got that one, and then I got this one with the llamas on it. So cute. I'll figure out who the maker was on Etsy that I bought these from. Oh, actually, I think I have it here. And then this one has rainbows. It's kind of silly, but I don't know. I just liked them. I liked how colorful they were. And I want to make some colorful socks, so anyway, yeah, the person is Precious Knits Shop on Etsy. Lindsay Zara. PK. Precious Knits. Ooh, there we go. So yeah, And on Instagram, she's Precious Knits Shop. And then on Facebook, Precious Knits Shop. And then on Pinterest, Precious Knits. So, yeah, and I think I came across her on Etsy. Yeah. Anyway, I'm excited to start my next pair of socks and use my double pointed needles. I also purchased, because my last pair of socks, I made them with a 1.5 set of Hiya sharps. And they're metal. And sometimes I think when people use metal needles, because the stitches slide so easily, like I think maybe I had a looser gauge. I don't know. I haven't made a lot of socks. But I used a 1.5 and the socks were a little big. And so I think I'm going to go down to a 0, which I think is 2.5 millimeters. And I bought some Chiaogu so I could do a magic loop using US 0 2.5 millimeter needles. And I think because my gauge was a little loose, I think that that's going to work out better for me for socks. So I think that will work, and I will have to report back next time. But the other thing I've been working on is my Penguono cardigan from StevenBe. So here is my Penguono. I think I showed you, this is the back panel. It's very hard to understand what this is going to look like at the end, but I got a couple of welts done. There's supposed to be 3 welts. And I did this yellow color, and all the colors are really getting muted because I am holding Kama Rose Midnatazole. This is like an alpaca. It's like 65% alpaca. And then there's some wool in there and tencel. I just read somewhere that tencel is like, it's man-made from wood pulp or something like that. Let me see if I can find that quick, because that is very interesting to me. I thought tencel, I mean, I think I knew it was man-made, but it's a fiber that is man-made from wood pulp, which means it is fully biodegradable. Who knew? Tencel. So, yeah, so this Midnatazole, you can use this in place of mohair. If mohair is scratchy to you, you can use alpaca instead. And this is a great option. It's Kama Rose. I bought this at the Yarnery in St. Paul. It's Kama Rose. It's 65% alpaca. And then the rest is like maybe 10% tencel. And then the rest merino, I believe. So anyway, you can use this in place. It's lace weight. I think it's a little thicker than mohair actually, but it's just more fuzzy for sure. And I've been holding all of these yarns double with Midnatazole in this white color. So this yellow is really this, but as you can see, like in the garment, it's a little more muted because it's held with that white alpaca. And then the next color was this one, Pajama Party, from a homespun house, and that's held with the alpaca as well. And then the last color is this sort of, I can't remember the name of this one or the yellow one, but this was a mini that came with a sock set from a homespun house. And this one actually has stellina in it, so it's got a little bit of glitter, but you can't really see it, only if you're really up close or it hits the light in a certain way. But then it's held with that alpaca, so I don't know how much you'll see the stellina in this. But this is a really pretty periwinkle color, and I just think it looks really cute with the yellow, that kind of purpley pink, and then and this will be another welt. So this is a welt, this is a welt, and then this will be another welt. I just haven't finished it yet. So anyway, pretty excited about that. And these welts are really cool. You knit a certain amount of rows, and then when you get to the end of it, you kind of flip it over and you knit the stitch on the needle with the first stitch back here that you started in that color, and it kind of folds over on itself and creates this little welt. And so when I was doing it, instead of diving in and trying to find that stitch for every, there's like, you know, over 50 stitches on the needle. And I didn't want to miss a stitch and then, I don't know. Like, I think these yellow stitches are a little more straight, and then this one got a little twisty. And I think that is because I was trying to dive back there and find the right stitch, and I didn't find the right stitch. So what I did instead, there's a couple ways to do welts. You can go through with a second size 7, you know, this is, I'm using a size US 7 for this project. You can go through and just pick up those stitches of that blue color. It's hard to show you, but you could pick up those stitches from that first row, and then you've got both sets of stitches on 2 sets of needles. And then you can do kind of like a 3 needle bind off without binding off. So you just skip the bind off part. You go through the front loop, the one on the second needle in the back, and then yarn over, pull it through both, and just leave it on the needles. So yeah, that's what I did for the first couple, and it worked pretty good because I just felt like I was not gonna calculate or find each stitch individually. I just felt like it was gonna get messed up, and it actually did with this one. I started to do it for like an inch and it's kind of twisted up there, but I just left it and did the 3 needle bind off for the rest of them. So anyway, that is a very unique pattern. After I'm done with these, oops, sorry if it's loud. After I'm done with these welts over here, you know, I'm gonna have this third welt, and then there's like a little section where you do some knitting here, and you bind off, I think, some of these stitches. Then you go over here and do the 3 welts on the other side. And remember, this is the back piece, back panel. And then you do the little section right here. So that's what's coming up next. It's very interesting, this construction, and it's really fun because you just keep changing colors and keep making decisions about what yarn you're gonna use. And this is a very colorful, not really totally in my wheelhouse, although if you looked at this, you would think it is. This is my Brioche Wrap, and it's kind of got the similar colorway. But anyway, yeah, so that is the Penguono, and I'm just getting started on that. And like I said, I finished the Anders tee, so that has been keeping me pretty busy the last 3 weeks. And I think when I'm done with my Penguono, I think I'm going to use this. This is an alpaca yarn I picked up at Applefest in Wisconsin. And let me see, this is from 2017. It is from the Joyful Journey Alpacas, 100% alpaca yarn, 300 yards in sport weight. So I am knitting most of this in DK weight by holding the midnatazole and a strand of fingering together. But I think it'll be okay to do the I-cord around the around the edge in this 100% alpaca. And I think this will make a great edge, you know, with all that color, to have a black and white I-cord edge around the whole jacket. I think that would be really cool. And I think on one of Stephen West's Penguonos, he has a black and white. He may have held 1 strand of black yarn and 1 strand of white and then marled it that way or something, but this is already black and white in a sport weight. So we'll see. Maybe I'll hold it with, actually it's sport weight. Maybe if I hold it with the Manat-Dazal, that'll be a good combo. So that is in the works. And then I think that's all I have, but because I'm going to start, I told you I was going to start a sock pattern. I pre-ordered Lina's book called 52 Weeks of Socks. I may have shared this last time, I don't remember. Or maybe I hadn't received it yet. I don't think I had received it yet because I think it showed up like around my birthday. I had the 52 weeks of scarves, but this showed up and it is 52 weeks of socks. So 52 patterns, I believe. And my dogs are barking right now. Yeah, so this is Lina curated 52 fun, cozy, and modern projects by leading knitwear designers from across the world. So this is going to be pretty cool. 52 weeks of socks. Like I said, I could pick a sock pattern from here. I could pick one from Summer Lee's book that I just purchased. But I might want to just go rogue and do my own thing and design a sock pattern. Because why not? So, yeah. But here's what happened. I accidentally pre-ordered 2 of these books. And instead of returning it, I am going to do a knit along with all of you, whoever wants to join me. And we have 2 months. Okay, it is the beginning of May. It's Cinco de Mayo today, May 5th. And we have until July 5th to finish a pair of socks. We're going to do a knit along. Any sock pattern you want from anyone. It doesn't matter. It could be a pair of socks that's on the needles and you just need to finish them. I think what I'll have to do is maybe start a group in Ravelry so that I can set up a KAL. I'm not sure if I have to do that. I'll figure that out. But for now, you can use the hashtag BeDoKnit sock KAL. And then I will pick a winner. I'll do like a random drawing and I will pick a winner and somebody will win this book. Instead of returning it, I decided I will do a giveaway. And so I will never put the giveaway in the chat. I know there are trolls and some issues that happen when people do that. So I will announce it in a July podcast who the winner is, and then I will ship this out to you. So whoever the winner is. It has to be a finished object, so you have to finish both sets. I know, if you're like me, I get stuck on Sock Island or have second sock syndrome and can't seem to get to the second sock and finish that second sock. But yeah, if you finish both socks and you post a photo using that hashtag on Instagram, and I'll decide like if I start a Ravelry group or not. I got to figure that out. But in the meantime, you could get going on your socks. And yeah, there's some really cool ones in here. Look at these colorwork socks. Super cute. And then these. It's like cable knit socks. Oh, so cute. So yeah, let's do this. So we will have a sock KAL knit along. And I will randomly select a winner using I think there's some like random comment generator or random something. I don't know how I'll do that. I'll have to figure it out. But I will make sure that it's fair and I will pick a winner and somebody will win that book. Fun. So that is the last thing. And then really cute, I have to tell you guys, so I met my girlfriends for my birthday. I met Henni, Jessica, and Gina, and we went to Cardamom restaurant at the Walker Art Center in Minneapolis. It's one of my favorite restaurants. I think because you can see the downtown skyline of Minneapolis. It's like the Walker lawn is right there. So it's outside, it's beautiful, you can see the skyline. There's art. There is the Walker Art Garden is right behind you. So you can go for a stroll through there afterwards. It's just a lovely place to have dinner. We went to the James Turrell exhibit and we did, oh my gosh, we were just having so much fun. We were dancing in there and I was playing some song from my Zumba class on my iPhone and we were dancing. I mean, we were just having way too much fun. And we took a bunch of pictures and I posted it. You may have seen it if you follow me on Instagram at BeDoKnit. BeDoKnit. Yeah, if you follow me, you probably saw it, but we just had a blast. Anyway. Henni gave me this cute necklace that has my initial A on it. And then my sister, I think it was last year or maybe the year before, gave me a necklace with my initial on it too. So now I have these two, so I kind of wore them as a set today. And that was pretty cute. Anyway, I hope all of you are having a great spring so far. It is really beautiful outside. I can't wait to get back out there today. It is gorgeous. Gina and I, like I said, filmed about her Anders tea next to Bedé Lake, and it was gorgeous. Blue sky, sunny, kind of a cool breeze. It was like 70 degrees, just perfect weather. So yeah, she was wearing her Anders tea and you know, it has holes in it. And so there's like a breeze, but, it is part cotton and part merino. And so I was a little concerned that the merino wool part would make it warm, too warm to wear, but it was 70 degrees today and she didn't get hot. We walked there and back to her house, which is probably, I don't know, half mile, 3/4 of a mile both ways. And it was fine. So anyway, she is loving the tea. It looks great on her. I can't wait to share. I'll put some photos up here and you'll see her in the tea here shortly, but I just think it turned out great. It fits her it fits her personality and her style exactly. So it just turned out great. All right. I will talk to you next time and excited about our KAL. So don't forget, if you want to win this 52 Weeks of Socks by Laine magazine, I published this, working with a bunch of different designers. So yeah, join the KAL and we will have fun making socks no matter what, whether you win or not. So I will see you next time. Bye. Hello and welcome to the BeDoKnit podcast. I'm here with Gina today, who many of you met during the first pilot episode. Gina had a 50th birthday at the beginning of March. And and I decided I am a self-proclaimed selfish knitter, okay? I don't knit for other people, generally speaking. I only knit for myself, maybe a couple of baby gifts here and there. But I decided to make Gina whatever she wanted. So she could pick the garment and I would knit it for her. So she picked the Anders tea by Colibri by Johanna. And she is a designer from, I think, Germany. This is the Anders tea, her pattern. And Gina picked the pattern and I sent her the website for Knitting for Olive and she picked out this dark ochre color and it is cotton merino. So perfect for summer or those like in between months where it's like summer, spring and fall where you don't want to wear something woolly and warm. Yeah. But it's kind of like that good in between seasons. Yeah. In between winter and summer.
Yeah. Today's 70 and sunny and it feels perfectly fine. I don't feel hot or cold or anything.
Yeah. So anyway, so I went to Gina's house. She tried on the Anders tea, and this is it. It fits perfectly. You want to stand up and walk back?
I wanted to do an entrance.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a happy dance. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. I love it so much. Someone loves me enough to make me an item to wear. And that means so much to me.
It looks so good.
Somebody handmade me something, and that shows me how much they love me. So look at how perfect The
Yeah,
little
so this is a
ribbing.
twisted rib cuff. And then the lace work, I love doing this lace work. I don't do a lot of lace work, but it was so much fun. And then the collar is a twisted rib collar. And then the hem is also twisted rib. So yeah, it's, you know, it's a raglan construction. So you start up around the neck and do some short row shaping in the back to build up the neck. And then it's raglan increases while doing lace work. So it was kind of a new fun challenge for me. And then when you get to the sleeve, you know, you separate for sleeves and then work the body and then do each sleeve and then do the collar and the cuff and the hem. So anyway, it is, I love it. It was actually a little bit hard to give it away because it is so amazing. I love this garment so much.
You have to make yourself one. We'll be twinning.
So I don't want to make the same garment as you, but maybe I might at some point. I might at some point. And maybe do like a red or like a orangey red, vintage red.
I was just going to say, do it in your red, modern red color.
Yes.
And, you know, we can just make sure that we're not wearing it the same day that we hang out.
I'm so glad I brought it to you at the walker because I was thinking that it would be cropped and then you were like, nope, I think I need this much more, and it was the perfect amount for one more diamond shape. So I made it I continued for one more diamond shape and it's perfect now.
Well, and I feel like if I ever wanted to tuck it in, I could have the option now. So if I want it over...
You could do a French tuck. That's what everybody's doing.
Is that what they're called? Okay.
Yeah.
Don't know the names of these things. But yes, that's what I was referring to. Exactly.
Yes.
I think we could be twinning. I just want to say this is not the first thing that you made me.
The other thing was mustard colored too, wasn't it? That
no.
cowl?
Oh, yeah. That was a very first.
Yeah.
But I'm talking like an item of clothing you made for me. You gave it to me.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
When we were, well, not in Sea Ranch, but we went, maybe it was when we were in Sea Ranch in California, but the black.
That's right, the kimono.
Chunky kimono.
Yeah, it was from Jen Geigley.
So
I think it was called the Kimono Cardi or something like that, and it really, truly looks like a kimono.
Yeah. I love that thing. It's in storage, but, so I could have gotten it out, I guess, for today, but this is the second item that you've given me.
Wow. Well, this one's a little more, like, everyday wearable in the spring and fall, I would say.
I mean, I'm not trying to call you out on anything, but Amy tends to wear things over and over, especially in the summer. We still use Marco Polo.
Yeah.
And, you know, when that was popular during COVID, and, you know, 4 days have maybe gone by since her first Marco Polo, and she's in the same shirt.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm still wearing this shirt because I tend to
amazing.
Find a shirt that I really like, and then I wear it out like a uniform.
Yeah.
It becomes a uniform. So that's kind of what happens.
It's comfortable, it works, it's whatever. But that will be this, I have a feeling. So
I think so.
I think I can wear this with a lot of different things. Today I have like high-waist jeans on, but dress, skirt, whatever. This thing is incredible. So
you love it.
I love it so much. Didn't you want to ask me a couple questions about it? What was the one question you asked over lunch?
Well, were you going between two colors, or is this one the one you just saw it and you're like, that's it?
Well, I do love like a rust color.
Oh yeah, so that could have been.
So like a rusty orange, I love.
Yeah, that would have been good too.
Yeah, but then I thought there was another question. Oh, was I surprised by it, or there was something over lunch?
Oh,
you were asking me.
Are you? Oh yeah, were you surprised by the fit, or like how it turned out, or is it what you imagined it would be?
Surpasses my imagination because it feels like it was tailor-made for me. So it feels like a big difference between buying a piece of clothing in the store or fast fashion that, you know, unfortunately I do too much of. So this just feels like a hug, you know, it feels like it was made for me, which it was, but it's so comfortable and
I'm
like
so happy.
All the areas. I feel like sometimes when you're buying clothing, you don't know if like the neck will fit or the arms will fit or this will fit, but it just feels like I don't know.
All over.
Yes, very much so.
Wow.
Yeah, like I would look forward to wearing this and
the placement of the sleeve, like
yeah, definitely is.
Do you wish it was up higher on your elbow or lower? Or
no,
anything?
I like that it's not like short sleeve and it's not like 3/4 quarter sleeve. It's
okay,
like
it just hits the elbow.
Yeah, and I think
good.
that's cool. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I love it so much.
So great design, Johanna, because, I mean...
Yeah, that's
she loves
right,
it.
because somebody made this
Somebody
design,
made,
right?
yeah, and did the grading for every size, and we were kind of going between two sizes, and I'm glad we landed on the size we did. I think it's perfect.
Was there, for you, as far as the lacing goes, you were saying that a couple times. What does that... That's
the
not,
lace work, it just means, you know, I
There's
mean, you
these
have to
little
create
holes.
these diamonds. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So there were a few times where I'd make a mistake, and to pull back in lace work is more difficult than just regular stockinette stitches or like V knit stitches.
Yeah.
Because there's yarn overs and there's, you know, knit two together and, you know, slip one, knit one, purl, you know, slip the, or take the knit slip stitch over, you know, like there's just a lot of technique, and so when you have to pull back, you got to pull back and know, you have to be able to read your knitting and know like what happened before.
That makes sense.
So that if there was a yarn over, you make sure it's still there and yada yada. So anyway, we are at BeDoKnit.
I think it means big open sky with a blue body of water on sand. That's
so
literally
perfect.
what it means.
That's what it is. So that's where we are right now. We just had lunch at this new restaurant at the Pavilion, and it was so good. It's like Jamaican. We had Jamaican jerk chicken and rice, and
It was delicious.
with cabbage and some kind of like spicy ranch over it, or like barbecue sauce. You can get like 6 different kinds of sauces. It was so good. Those of you in Minneapolis, St. Paul area, the Twin Cities, like this restaurant is great.
It's legit.
You can order outside, so you never have to wear a mask if you're a masker like me. You order outside, you eat outside on this lake.
You
It's just
podcast
great.
outside.
You can podcast out here. Do whatever you want. We kind of had to move around to find a place, but we eventually found one.
Yeah,
So-
we're surrounded by sailboats and rowboats and...
Yeah, it's great. You can rent rowboats, sailboats, all kinds of things on this lake. And I used to do that in my early 20s and go to a place called Hidden Beach. And Hidden Beach is, I don't know, it's just like where the young people were hanging out.
Okay,
And you
so-
could take like a mud bath and...
Ooh,
Yeah.
what?
It was-
Could a 50-year-old do that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So anyway.
Could a middle-aged person do that? Which is technically what I am.
So Gina, what about your half and half triangles wrap? Any progress? Have you been knitting? No.
Oh, yeah, that. Well, on the podcast that we did last winter, were we there in the winter or fall? Anyway, when we did a
August.
okay, that was August.
Yes. We haven't made much progress. I imagined this winter
Wow.
I would like mask up and go to her house and we would work on those shawls, but we really made no progress at all.
Well, when we did that podcast
FYI.
about those shawls, I showed you my progress. It was like this. Now I would say my progress. I mean, you'd be pretty impressed. It's like this.
Yeah, that's true.
What about yours?
I mean, it's around the same, but I've been doing other things.
It's almost August again.
I know.
Oh yeah, I've been doing other things.
I think we need to. I think I've been crafting. I don't think that you put that down. You're done crafting, right?
Shoot.
So yeah, we'll get back to it.
We need to calendar it.
Because I offered to make it for you, and you were like, "No, I'm doing
I really
this.
want to do
I'm
it.
doing this." So
Shoot.
we'll get back.
We
to
need
it.
to schedule it in.
Yeah, I think we could have like a whole day at the beach and just be working on that this summer sometime.
That's
That'd be
true.
fun.
Maybe we could rent a rowboat
Right?
and do it on there.
We're gonna knit on the lake. I like it.
Yeah.
There you
Kayak and knit. Oh my
go. All
goodness.
right. Well, anyway,
Good to see
beautiful
you all.
day. I hope it was fun to see Gina again. Her Anders tea turned out great.
It's
I got some
beautiful.
pics as
I hope
well.
you can see it
And
in
one
the
thing
sunlight.
I did before I came over here today, I blocked the whole thing, but I left the neck stitches live, or I left them in there. I didn't weave in the ends on the neck stitches because I wanted her to see how she could get it over her head, because everybody has a different size head, right?
My head is not super big, so.
Yeah, and I got it over my head, and I have a big head. So anyway, so I thought it would work, but I left those stitches just in case, because I could have just like pulled and ripped that those neck stitches out and redone it. But I did do a German stretchy bind off, or like a sewn bind off on the on the collar. And I think I did that on the sleeves as well. And what I did is I used, instead of going the Jenny stretchy bind off where every stitch you're doing a yarn over before it, so you have all this extra elasticy kind of fiber. I only did a yarn over for the purl stitches in rib, and then I bound off. I didn't do a yarn over for the knit stitches, and that really helped to make it stretchy, but not too stretchy, if you know what I mean. So that is my tip for you when doing the Jenny stretchy bind off. If you don't want it to get too stretchy, only do a yarn over on the purl stitches. And that's all I have for today.
Good to see you all.
Bye.